Hello people, today I have the 30-minute missions extended armament vehicles. This one has the unfortunate name of Multi-Legs Mecha version. Not a very exciting name in my humble opinion, but it is a really cool model kit nonetheless. It is one of the small vehicles in the 30-minute mission series. Let me go ahead and read the little blurb about it. It says that this is an AI-equipped support vehicle owned by the Maxion forces. It is often used to fight alongside Acerby and other Eximechs. Its distinctive legs are flexible and movable, enabling it to move at high speed even on battlefields and poor environments. By thrusting the tips of its sharp legs, it can move even on walls and can also leap. Equipped with 2 shield claws, it excels in both attack and defense in close combat. It is also equipped with a beam cannon capable of long-range shooting, making it one of the most versatile of the extended armament vehicles. Now, if you remember, there are 3 factions in the 30-minute missions series so far. There's the Maxion, which are the oddball aliens with the Spinatio and Spinatias. They also have the Dog Mech and this one. So very biological-looking creatures instead of, or biological-looking mecha instead of the standard like the Earth forces, which was the ones from obviously Earth. So you have the Alto, and then of course you have the Bion forces, which are the rounded Zaku type ones, the oddball, still utilitarian looking, but ones like the Porta Nova, the CL Nova, the Reaver Nova, the Garda Nova. All the Nova ones are the Bion forces. So this one is from that biological type mecha faction, and of course it does reflect that with its look. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll take a look at the articulation, and then I'll do a size comparison. So as far as what you see, there is quite a lot. It is a movable legs or multiple legs mecha, so you see lots of ball joints on this one, and lots of other joints on this one. So of course you have the shield claws. Those have some scissor action at the ends here. Both of those have that. You have this joint here, then you have another joint here, and then of course there's a ball inside the body of the mecha, and you can turn that any which way you like. And because this one's pretty cool in variability, you can move any of these ball joints to any other place where there is another ball joint. So you can just pop them right out and swap them in place. In addition to that, there are ball joints in between each of these. So we're going to go over that in just a sec. We'll start back up at the top. There is a peg on the gun that you can rotate that off of, and then you can rotate the whole turret, which allows you to have versatile aiming for such an interesting looking gun. I could definitely see that being used on ship customs, things like that. It's one of those really cool anti-aircraft looking guns, and according to the blurb, it is a beam rifle or beam cannon, so that's even cooler. We'll go back to the front here. The joint inside here is a ball joint, like I said, so you can rotate that 360 degrees bearing. You pull that out just a hair, and you can move that back and forth like so in any of the 360 degree directions that you need. So you can get quite a lot out of that, and it is pretty fun to play with, to pose this guy in like an inquisitive, cocked head, or looking down or up, whichever way you'd like. Just remember that these are polycap joints and they will wear out eventually. It is fun to play with, but you don't want to wear out your little guy. We're going back to a polycap inside here. That's the ball joint inside. You can move that however you'd like. You can rock each one of these legs like so. And of course, right here as well. And then at the very tip, you also have a bend that's quite substantial. So you can move that many, many different ways. It's a very, very articulated leg. They'll also show it being used as a hand on the, what is it called? The Providel. The last section would be these guys. These open up. I'm not sure why you would do that, but they do open up and close like so. And of course, each of these legs is the same. You're going to build it 4 times when you put this together. and put those all together here. But there's no difference between the front legs and rear legs. They can be swapped out how you'd like. And of course, one of the cool things about this one that they showed when they announced it is that because this is just basically segments like this, you can detach these and add new sections to it in between. You have an even longer worm or caterpillar or whatever type of mecha you'd like. You can also attach them down below because these are the same ball joints. They can attach this way, and you can get some good, decent, and interesting effects with what you do with recombination. The only problem I can see with the articulation is that over time it is going to wear out. There's no polycaps on anything except for those ball joints. Those are going to be the weak point. But because these ones are plastic on plastic, they also will eventually wear down. If you pose them all the time, if you leave them on the shelf forever, he will start to sag. It's still a really nice looking kit, and I don't think he weighs a lot, so I don't think he's going to weigh down and sag very soon. You know, I think he's got a long life ahead of him. All right, and starting our size comparison, you can see here I have my high-grade Gundam in 1144 and my Alto also in 1144. You can see the size difference between those two. 30-minute mission series are usually a bit smaller than high-grade model kits. This one in particular is a little bit taller than your normal high-grade Grandpa Gundam. It's the GBN-based Gundam, and that's the Alto with Commander armor. But you see here, this guy is really small, and he is quite compact for what you're looking at. You see, you can also crouch him down a little bit lower if you manipulate those legs, and you can make him a little bit taller if you stretch them out up tall. And we'll do that for the next one, but you can see here what he would look like in a normal height pose. He is halfway up the waist on the Gundam, and just a little bit more on the Alto here. All right, and here he is next to my Jinrai. This is the Frame Arm series Jinrai in 1/100 scale. You can see how much taller he gets when you stretch him out. You can see how much taller he gets when you stretch him out. And just as a reminder, here is what he looks like compared to that Alto from before. Much, much taller. It does look a bit awkward with the legs standing beneath him like that, but it is something you can do if you like. It's interesting how that looks, actually. I think with a whole bunch more legs, it could look maybe a little bit less awkward. And then for an example of putting him down flat, that's pretty much as far down as he'll get because that's almost belly to the ground. But you can see him standing here next to the roughly 1/12 scale Frame Arms Girl Architect. He is pretty small, but he does get splayed out quite a bit when you put him in this fashion. It takes up quite a lot of space on the floor there. I was looking forward to testing this one out. This is the Hexagear Governor Nero, and that is the Night type. You see here, he looks extraordinarily good on the back of this little guy. I had a feeling that the Hexagear line would work pretty well with this one, considering they already have their animal type vehicles. So I think with a little bit of editing, you can get a really good positioning on there. I plugged that one in because, of course, there are 3mm ports all over this guy's body, and that one is a 3mm peg. You could see what I was talking about with the slack on the joints. It can probably hold the weight because I'm using only one hand here. I think I need to manipulate these ones forward and then try it that way. Yeah, he can definitely hold the weight, but it's only a just barely compared to what you would think should be possible for these ones. So it might not be the most viable thing. Maybe thicken the joints. A paint job will probably do it very well. I could probably do one of these in that color scheme right there, and it would look amazing as a writable mount for one of these guys. And with the thickening of the joints, it'll look a lot better. That's pretty amazing, though. This is in 1/24 scale. This one's in 1/144. But of course, use your imagination, have fun. they work pretty well together. Last but not least, we have him here standing beside the master grade 1/100 scale. That is our Alex Gundam. And, you know, in 1/144 scale, he's pretty diminutive. He'd be about double the size if he was in 1/100 scale, but it does look like a good companion size, I think, for this giant mecha. It would look pretty good. I think, you know, with, you know, some more detailing, I think you can make it work. It looks exceptionally well with this blocky form in particular. That's the Alex Gundam from 0083 War in the Pocket. Yeah, I think it really works well as a companion unit. That's kind of weird that I like it so much. But it's definitely a really good sizing. So we're just going to leave that one there. And so you'll notice I didn't mention any extras, and that's because there really aren't any. Like a lot of the 30-minute mission series, they like to use the same sprues as other 30-minute missions kits. This one, however, did not. It's just all of the parts on these sprues, with the exception of a couple of the ball joints. Because it uses so many, they went ahead and just gave you as many as come on the sprue. And of course, there's 6 on them normally. You need a total of 9 to make this one work, with the 3 segments and the 6 segments underneath, or the 6 leg segments underneath. So it's a pretty resource heavy when it comes to those ball joints, but it does work. I think at $13.99, which is what I bought it for, is a little high. I would say probably $10.99 would be a better price, but you're gonna really complain about $2? I'm not. So I bought 2 of them. I haven't put the other one together yet, but I will get to that. That though is one of my favorite of these little machines here. I still am very, very fond of the Egg Boys. Those will not leave my top of my list. The Egg, the little mech units are definitely my favorite ones. Trying to get one. Here's one now, and for some reason his legs are off. But yeah, no, he would stand about that tall. But these guys are definitely my favorite. There's his leg. The extended armament vehicle line of the 30-minute mission stuff is so varied. I'm really enjoying them. The motorbike, the airplanes, the tanks, even the stand for them. It's pretty cool so far, so I'm loving it. This one is definitely a hit, and I would recommend it to anyone who is interested in mechas or in anything else similar. So that's going to be it, guys. I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.